It is Thursday night, so you know what that's time for. It's time for our episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Vegas J, and I have a very special co-host tonight. What is happening, Angela? How the heck?
Hey, how's it going?
What is going on? How are you?
Jeff.
No,
I'm good.
Talk to Jeff yet. Just me and you.
Oh, well, I can see him.
How are you doing, Angela?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am great. And where are you? Whereabouts in the world are you located, Angela?
We are in Anderson, Indiana. We're about 20 minutes northeast of Indianapolis.
Nice.
And we're shooting it tonight from our store.
And we'll talk about your store in a minute, but let's
okay.
to Jay's Tiki Talk, where each week I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug, and I try and match it up to our guest. And our guest tonight is Jeff Wolfe. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, how you doing, Jay?
Now, most people who know you, Jeff, might not recognize you right this second, since up until very recently, you had big bushy hair and a beard.
That is correct. Yeah.
You went shaving for the show tonight. What is going on?
Yeah.
All right, I didn't match my mug with you, so to speak, tonight because it is Christmas, and my lovely friend Ann Crickman sent me this new Rudolph Tiki mug, so I wanted to use it for the holidays, obviously. It came from 3 Dots and a Dash in Chicago.
Sweet.
All right.
Here. But I did match my rum up because I have Minnesota rum.
There you go.
So,
nice.
Norseman rum out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and Jeff is from Minnesota. So there we go. So what are you drinking tonight, Angela?
You really want to know?
I do. Am I going to be mad?
No. It's classy.
Oh, nice.
It's a sneaky tiki. It's a killer punch. It's supposed to be like a painkiller. It's really not.
I was just hoping we were going to say Malibu and like.
Oh no, no, that's sacrilege. But I'm drinking it from the Den of Sin.
Nice
Mug.
Oh.
Too bad I don't have a secret beach mug, huh?
No, you can get one. I'll send you one over. What do you having, Jeff?
I got this rum and coke from the little mug from Cycle City.
Nice, the Tiki Bar in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Cool.
There we go. I actually got a Frankie's stir stick in there.
Look at that. You're putting it all together. Look at that. We're all alike. I love it. I love it. All right, Jeff, sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and we'll see you in about 22 minutes. Mm-hmm. All right, Angela, here we go. First time.
All right.
Now it's time for to be ready with my sound effects. It's our scores of the week.
Yay!
That's something.
All right, let's do it.
This week, these are bolos. Be on the lookout. Things that you should be hunting for in the thrift store. I'm just going to start right out with this one. Merry Christmas. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Isn't this awesome? I'm the social media lifeguard. Or I'm part of the social media team on the lifeguard. So this is the power of social media. I shared this in a social media thread, and it sold in about 10 minutes to a Thrifting Board member.
I like it. Hey, I love it.
And the best part is that these were selling, I saw them listed for $8, $9, $10, and I threw it up for more.
There you go.
Oh, go back. You missed it. Oh, yeah. Isn't she cute?
That is awesome.
That is a cosmic kittle. She's a little green alien. Her name's Greenie Meanie. And we were at an auction, and they were selling box lots of these just little junky toys. And I knew kittles were a bolo. And I couldn't see that well to see what these were exactly, but I saw that there were some. And I got beat out on the first round of bidding, and I was like, well, all right, it wasn't meant to be. Well, the guy didn't take the one with the kittles in it, so they were busy, and they were just like, take all these flats for $3. And I'm like, all right. So I did. So, okay, I actually did take a best offer on this one. Now, if she had her base, she'd be worth $200. But this was just a little lesson of what I've learned in the lifeguard and, in the Thrifting Board, not to race to the bottom and to aim a little higher than everybody else. She had both of her antennas. She was in good shape, and she was nice and clean. Her little dome was shiny. So I listed it, and 16 minutes after I listed it, I got a best offer of $68. And for $3, I'd paid for like a ton of little toys. So I had 3 other kittles alone listing. So I was like, you know what? That's not the bottom. And I was much higher than the other ones were selling for. So I went ahead and took it.
I love
$68. Yep.
Well done.
Isn't it just happy to look at that? I'm a vintage chick, so I've never found one of these in the wild. I've never found one, and not only did I find one, I found two in the same box at an auction, and I paid $40. No buyer's fee, no buyer's premium or anything like that. And there were two of them. This was the better of the two. I mean, they were both in original boxes and everything. So they were great, still a great find. But this one is the pom-pom, and they're a little more desirable than the others. This one sold for $259 after I'd had it on sale the week of Christmas. I threw it up right before Christmas. On Thanksgiving weekend, I bought it on Black Friday. So I had it up by Cyber Monday, and I ran it on sale and nobody bought it. And the guy that messaged me, he was like, hey, I live in Canada, but I need you to send this to the UPS store across the border. I was like, not a problem. I'm like, dude, I would have shipped it to you if it would have worked however you wanted it to work out. And I got my full asking price. So that was pretty excited.
I love it.
Yep.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That's awesome.
I paid $45 at an auction about a year ago. And I sat on them for a while because I was working on getting my photography skills better, because red is such a hard color to shoot. And I was struggling really bad. And where my husband is a really good photographer and he can fix things in Photoshop, I'm stubborn and I won't let him fix my stuff. So, because I want to do it myself. And I'd had these things listed. I'd had them at auction for $99 starting bid. I had them listed forever for probably 6 to 8 months for like $159. And somebody said, you know what? I sold a set for $249. Raise your price. So I did. And there they went.
And there they went.
And there they went.
On my dad's birthday, December 10th. How cool.
Sweet.
All right. I wanted to share, I've been selling my friend's record collection. So every time I sell a weird one, I wanted to share. And Mud Boy seems to be the appropriate weird one. There we go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Mud Boy. I don't know who Mud Boy and the Neutrons are, but I do know I sold
Brown Felons in Drag. Nice.
Yeah, I sold it for $38. I always pick up any tech shirts I see. This was for Google Brain, and it said my other brain is a data center. And I sold it to a guy just this past week, and I paid $2 for it.
Excellent.
And, this doesn't have the correct price on it. I did sell it for $60, but this is something I bought, and I use a thrifting board to help me. I don't know much about choo-choo trains, and so this said Union Pacific on it, and it was a full coverall with the guy's name, Albert, embroidered. And I said, so tell me about all these patches. And they said, it's got to be someone who just has like trains at home, because no one working on the line would have all these different things. And people did tell me I should just take all the patches off and sell the patches. I'd probably do better. I'm like, nah, I bet you someone's going to buy this whole suit. And
they did.
Yeah, 6 or 8 months. And then it sold for $60 and it's going to England. So someone named Albert in England likes all these trains. So. And I paid $7 for it. So it was one of those things where I'm glad I got help from the thrifting board. But and if it wouldn't have sold ever, then I might have taken the patches off. But I wanted to give it a try first as the full item, kind of because I'm lazy. Also, I don't feel like taking off all those damn patches. And it sold $60. So I made more profit, and away it goes. And just sold this Marquee Waterford Crystal Nativity set.
Wow!
And it was usually glass looks really good on black, and this crystal was so shiny. It was really kind of tough to take the picture without it being like,
There's a lot of edges.
Yeah. So I did the best I could, and it sold within like 2 weeks. And
Perfect.
So it's up and running. And what's nice was it was in
It's a nice price.
Yeah.
What'd you pay for that?
A couple hundred. So I didn't make as much as I thought I would. But what was nice is I had all the original boxes, so all the pieces fit in. So you didn't have to do this crazy like wrapping job. They just had to fit in another nice box to ship it away, because every piece had its own little container. So it's one of those things too. You got to think about the time involved in the whole process. If I would have had to wrap each one of those things individually, that'd be a lot more time and effort. Just back in the box in one shipping box. Super duper easy. All right. Oh, I forgot what my sound effect is for. Oh, I know what it is. So this is a relatively new feature. Whoops. Come back here, you little scamp. There we go. All right, my CD score of the week. Look, I've been teaching everyone about CDs, and we'll talk about that in a second. But each week, I want to profile at least one of my kick-ass CD scores. I was telling Angela before the show started, I have sold over 60 CDs this week alone. I have made a ton of money, but this was my favorite. So I took a picture of it before I shipped it. I paid a whopping 99 cents for this Nativity Story, the original motion picture soundtrack, at a record store, and I sold it for $40 on Amazon.
Nice.
So
Very nice.
the two biggest things I hear from naysayers on Facebook are bullshit, ain't no one buying CDs, and that's not true. And there ain't no way you're finding good ones at record stores. Here is the CD from a record store. And Stacy probably grabbed it because I make her do the 99-cent rack when I'm in this record store because it keeps her busy.
Give Stacy credit.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she does the 99-cent rack. So there it is. All right. So speaking of my webinar, if you've not taken it yet, you are missing out. The amount of successes I have been seeing in both the Thrifting Board and the Secret Beach has been amazing. One person who took the webinar in the last week has made over $400 on CDs, has never sold a CD a day in their life until they took the webinar, and has sold already $400, like a $155 CD, a $60 CD, a $55 CD. It's amazing. So head over right now to flippingcds.com. And I'm going to teach you all about how to get through a thrift store quickly and go through the whole racks at a thrift store, how to find the good stuff in record stores, how to sell it, how to make the most money. Look, I know we're going into 2019. You can stream, you can download, you can YouTube, anything, but people still pay for CDs. In the last couple of weeks, I made a couple $1,000s on just CDs.
Damn.
Above and beyond everything else I've sold.
I could use a couple thousand.
Well, then you've got to get out there.
I need to sell some CDs. I get it. I'm doing it.
All right. So what we're going to do right now, though, is for those of you who have tuned in, there we go. All right. So let's close that. Oh, and right now, if you put in Happy Holidays when you check out, you get 50% off. And there's a great question in the chat. Jason, you worked at record stores. Why don't they sell online? And same for the thrift store, small ones. Guess what? They all do. But guess what? They don't know everything. I know more than most record stores. And some record stores are so big, you got to leave stuff in the store for people to find too, or people won't come to your store. That's the other thing. When you're selling online and you're a store like a used record store, you can sell some of your goodies online, but if you sell all your goodies online, ain't no one coming into your store. So you got to walk that fine line. Well, all the stores I shop at, most of them also sell online, but I know better than them. All right, so let us, where's my graphic? There we go. Let's give away one of the webinars. Taking the webinar. Debbie just made me up a quick little graphic there. If you've not taken the webinar yet, I'm going to give one of them away right now. So the first person to answer this question correctly will win the webinar for free. Don't answer, Angela.
I'm going to mute myself so I don't say it out loud. Like I probably won't know, but just in case.
What is the best-selling single of all time? So the first person I see with the correct answer will win a download of the webinar. See a lot of chatter about last run to the post office. Hi, Emily. Oh, look who gets it. Funny enough, Melissa Magnuson gets it. And she sent me a gift. Now, this was not staged.
Okay. Prove it.
Correct. It is White Christmas. It's the number one sell. Now, I didn't say just Christmas either. It's the number one selling single of all time. Over 50 million copies have been sold.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Melissa, just hit me, message me that you won, and I'll get you all taken care of.
She hasn't already seen the webinar?
I don't know. Hey, wait, here's the beach. All right. So here's the okay, here's the beach. All right. So, Melissa, if you've already seen it, which you should have, I'll let you just gift it to somebody. So just message me later, and then you could gift it to a friend. But
Melissa, go for the cash.
Melissa and her husband, Thor, sent me and Stacy a gift. So I'm going to open it on the air. Because, hey, it's the Christmas show. What the hell, you know? Ooh, nice. She goes, I'd be surprised if you don't have one. I do not have one. Woohoo. Oh, that's awesome. I saw what it was going to be. It's even more awesome. Fantasy Pugs. Look, it's Thor and Odin and Loki.
That is awesome.
That is epic.
That is too awesome.
Oh, look at that. Lifeguards. Just like the Thrifting Board.
Get out.
Look.
Aw.
That'll be new artwork. So
Heck yeah, Will.
This is awesome. Oh, yeah. I'm so
Well done, Melissa.
well done.
Nice.
That is amazing. All right. But for the rest of you, head over to flippingcds.com. Take the webinar. You will get your money's worth immediately, because the second you learn about one expensive CD that you then go find, and they're all out there, bam, you paid for it. One CD will pay for the cost of that webinar when you find one good CD to flip. All right, back to it now. Not everything is good. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Sometimes we have duds, and these are our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
All right. This is a vintage Girl Scout cookie poster. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Because I've been hitting the mute. All right. This is, I mean, look at the words on it. It's before Thin Mints were called Thin Mints. Packages came in 2 sizes. This is well before I was a scout in the 70s. Now, when we bought these at an online auction, I saw a sold on eBay or WorthPoint, one of the two, for like $55 for the same poster. And I was like, sweet. We get to the pickup and there's not one, but I've got 4 of them. And I'm like, oh, I am just going to make so much money. I'm going to be so rich off of this cookie poster. I listed it high and it sat there since May until November, December. When did I sell this? December 4th. Until the week before December 4th, it sat there. And I went $55, I went to $40, and then I ran it on an auction, $4.99, take it. And it sold for $5.24. Now the thing was, I got excellent feedback from the seller or from the buyer, because this one was a little bit yellowed around the edges. And I have another one that had crisper color, but it had a little ding out of it. And I was like, you know what? I'm sending you 2 of them. And I sent her a message and she sent glowing feedback. And I have 2 more to sell.
So do you think the one you saw was just like an accidental sale, or?
I think it was only one person wanted it. You know, it was a one-time thing. And I've got some other Girl Scout stuff, and I started seeing some, you know, I went through the Thrifting Board and I was like, Girl Scout, blah, blah, blah. And it took me to some other websites, and I was like, you know what? I have like nothing in these. And I've got some other cool pieces that I went through all of their history, and they don't have some of the stuff that I have. I've got commercials, like real commercials for the cookie time, and they don't have this in the museum. So I was like, you know what? I might just send it to them.
Well, that would be very nice.
I might not. If I could get money for it, I would. But, you know, sometimes, oh my God, these plates. These freaking plates, man. Okay. Bought a stack of plates. There must have been like 15 of them. No, there were probably 20. I bought them at an auction, like 2 years ago. Okay. There were Disney, there were Mickey, there were, oh shoot, Snoopy. Snoopy was the other one. Peanuts and Disney. And the weird thing is that they're just an odd size, that they weigh right about 13, 14 ounces. So they can fit nicely into an album size, an album shipper. But they're a pain in the ass. It's like they don't sell for enough money. I know I'm cussing, sorry. They don't sell for enough money.
Knock it off.
Right, get my shit together. They don't sell for enough to make it worth my while, because you have to bubble wrap it. I'm like, I'm wasting bubble wrap on this. So I've tried them. You know, some of the oldest ones sold for about $16 each, and that was cool. I finally pulled, you know, after this one sold and I went through it, I was like, I'm done. I am done selling these stupid things for this little amount of money. And I set them out in the store. I was like, somebody will buy them here, where I have that benefit where a lot of people don't. But I'm just like, you know, put it out in the store, sell it for $2. I'll get my money back. It's done.
All right. So this is actually over.
That's awesome.
But Rick and Morty, super popular cartoon. But the problem is, it is super popular, and they have tons of merchandise. So I should have never have bought this. But I wanted to share this dud as a little story. I think I paid $3 sold it for $12.50. The guy made me an offer, $12.50, includes free shipping, and 7 hours later messaged me and goes, "Can I cancel this? I can't afford it." Now, normally I would just cancel, but I couldn't help myself last night. I wrote him back, I'm like, "Well, why did you make an offer on it?" And he said, "I'm terrible with my money." Like, well, at
least,
and I was out to dinner with,
he's self-aware.
yeah.
Give him something for that. Can I buy that to send it to Christine?
Well, hang on. I was out to dinner with my wife and a friend, and so I didn't cancel right then. So I went home, totally forgot to cancel it. I woke up like, oh, I got to cancel it. He paid for it. I'm like, what is happening?
Are you serious?
Yes. So
why did he do that?
It's on its way. But yeah, Pickle, Rick and Morty, it's popular, but don't pick up the stuff because it is popular and there's so much merchandise. All right. So I sold this Jack Frost soundtrack CD for $13.85. And here's what I paid for it, Angela.
I see that.
50 cents. Now you might think, hey, Jay,
that's a great sale.
You turned 50 cents into $14. Why is this in the duds? Well, the cover says Jack Frost soundtrack, but the CD says Kenny G Faith. Whoops.
Wah, wah,
yeah,
wah.
I did not read the CD and notice that it was Kenny G. Luckily, my brand new assistant who just started this week, as she's packing this up, she goes, "This is Kenny G." I go, "Oh, all right. Well, then that's no good." So I had to cancel the sale. So here's the one pitfall of selling CDs. Make sure that you open it up and the CD in here is the CD out here. Okay.
It happens.
Yep. See,
it's really hard for you to tell a story when I know the ending.
Yeah. 19 years and I still make that mistake. So when people make mistakes, don't worry. Everyone still makes mistakes. It's just how you learn from it. I'll be more careful starting this week.
Yeah.
All right. So now it is time for where in the world did our stuff go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers. Woo, ooh la la.
Right? She was in my webinar, and I said, I'm willing to wait for my price on that one. It's a 1963 pinup calendar, and it went to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, Canada.
And what'd you get for it?
I don't remember.
All right, that's cool.
I think about $42. 42 or 24.
Now, we never prep ahead. You know, whoever my co-host is just sends me the stuff. I've got my stuff. Well, my international one went to Canada too this week.
Sweet.
So I think it's Christine's in the chat and she lives in Montreal. Is it Saint Hubert? Is that how you would say it? That would be my my white guy from America guess. But I wanted to share this with you. It wasn't the most exciting sale. A pair of Levi's orange tabs. I think I sold them for $25 plus shipping. I charge $18 shipping. It only cost me about Christine says it's near her. It only cost me about $4. So I made about $4 shipping. But Saint Hubert. Okay, cool. But if you were to be using global shipping, this pair of jeans would cost the Canadian customer about $30-some, where I only charged $18. And so I'm going to get the sale every single time over those of you who are using global shipping, because it's so cheap to ship to Canada, comparatively speaking, that using shipping, many educated Canadian customers will not buy from you if you're using global shipping. So I can get a pair of jeans there easy peasy for under $18. Oh, there's my mom. I was just about to say, I think my mom fell asleep, and she said, "Hi, all. I've been listening to the car since the show started. Just got home." I was going to say, I hadn't seen my mom in the chat as of yet.
Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Ma. All right, now it's time for our thrifty tip of the week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're in the thrift store.
Are you ready for me? Okay.
I am ready for you.
All right. I am all about the social media. You can use it in so many different ways. And we're all here because we're in a social media, we're in Facebook. That's social media. Everybody's using it, and it's not as scary as people think it is. When I watch a webinar or anything in the Secret Beach, or if I see a specific topic coming up once in a while, I go to Pinterest and I create a board. And once you create that board, you have the option to make it secret. that nobody else can see it but you. So it's not like you're putting all the that privy info that we get on the Secret Beach or in the Thrifting Board. And I have one called Secret Tiki, and I use it all the time. I just have to flip open the Pinterest app and it's right there. And especially use it for like the Exotica albums, because I don't have the eye that Jason and Peggy have. To me, they all the Hawaiian albums look alike. They do. And I'm like, it could be $1,000. It could be $50. It could be $1.99. So, that's one of my tips is, have this available, because sometimes I can't even get a signal when I'm in a thrift store, but I can run back outside, open up, get a signal, open up my Pinterest board and run back inside and check again. And, and I use it for different categories too. Obviously I have one for all the tiki stuff. I have them for different brand labels of blue jeans that I've heard Joy mention. I will pop up what the legit label looks like. And I keep, and all this stuff is secret. Nobody else even knows you have these weird little boards, but now I've given my secret away and everybody knows I have those weird little boards, but it can work and it does it.
I love it. All right. Now, I've said this tip many times in the past, but anytime I've said a tip and then it comes to fruition very well for me, I like to give it again. So 2 weeks ago, I went to Savers on half off day late in the day. So you would think late in the day when everything's half off, there should be nothing left, correct? Wrong. So just hanging on the rack like it's not even a good brand is this Isabella Fiore purse for $4.50. They didn't even have it zip tied like they do with like the fake Coaches. This is an actual legit good brand, and I teach about it all the time. Isabella Fiore, and
it's
so
beautiful.
$4.50 hanging on the rack. Now this one was zip tied. I had to get it down, but new with tags for $12 is this White Rabbit purse.
I am so jealous about this purse. I can't even stand it.
So $12. These were sitting there halfway through half off day. Good purses to flip. So if you're going by a thrift store's half off day, don't think, oh shit, it's middle of the day, all the good stuff's gone. Nope.
Yeah.
Not everyone has the same knowledge that you have, that I have, that Angela has, that Jeff has. Get in there. There is stuff to be had from open to close. All right, so now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. Little tips and tricks, what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping. That's you, Angela.
This one's me?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I submitted two, so I wasn't sure. I was like, oh, well, he kind of had the same idea. Okay, I threw it out there right around Black Friday. I have a bunch of friends who are single, the super moms that they're on top of everything and they're ordering Christmas, well before. So I just posted it on my Facebook page. And I said, any of you out there that are, stimulating the economy by buying on Amazon, please save me those boxes, because Amazon has some killer size boxes. And, it's stuff that I can get for free. I know it's only had one use. And if it's coming from my friends' homes, they're probably not nasty. So we hope. So, and it's all these free shipping supplies. I had a couple shipping tips, so I was like, oh, I don't know which one this is. But yeah, just ask your friends. And my daughter works for Sally's Beauty Supply. They will get a single tube of hair color in a box this big with air pillows. And I'm like,
there you go.
Bring it to me.
All right, yep. I'll back up real quick. Yes, the White Rabbit is from Alice in Wonderland.
It's killer.
Yeah, this is from the Disney parks.
I have serious purse envy over that bag.
So that is the White Rabbit. So the original retail was $65 on it from the Disney parks. All right. So I can't believe I have to say this, but my mom is the what not to do tonight. All right.
Oh,
I know. So sad.
It's Christmas.
All right. But I bet a lot of you have made this mistake. So hopefully I'm going to stop you from making it. So mom shipped me a box. And if you notice what I underlined and put an arrow to, she shipped it large flat rate box. However, she didn't ship a large flat rate box. This is a large mailing box that is not the same as a large flat rate box. The large flat rate box is a little shorter. So mom saw the word large and just grabbed and threw it on there. Now, if they caught it, they're going to bill her. But if they didn't catch it, no biggie. But realize large mailing box and large flat rate box are two different boxes.
So do you think she overpaid or she was undercharged?
She underpaid.
Oh, okay.
She underpaid.
So
if they caught it, they'll bill her.
Does anybody else get complete paralysis and paranoia when you send something to Jason that you're going to end up on this segment? I know I did.
All right. Well, speaking of, why don't you open? This is a good time to open the package since I FOMO'd you something. So for those of you who don't know what FOMO is, it is by the method by which I ship all breakable tiki mugs and glassware in a padded flat rate envelope, which Angela has been holding on to for like 6 months. She's a little slow. So we're opening my hard work live on the air. Let's hope it isn't broken. So
Linda, here's something.
While you're opening it, Linda said, "Will they bill the customer?" Not anymore, because you're tied to buying your stuff like through eBay and stuff. Well, Mom didn't buy it through eBay, but typically, if you do it through eBay, they'll just bill your eBay account if you underpay. That's the new thing nowadays.
Well, it made it this far.
Yep. So far,
I'm not hearing any broken glass.
Yeah, I have not heard glass yet. So that's always
in my hands, so it's really anybody's guess.
Yeah. Now, if you butterfinger this and drop it just as you're opening it, that would be funny.
We do have a concrete floor right here too. Holy cow! Look at all the free shipping supplies I'm getting.
Hey, when I ship something, FOMO. All right, so far, so looking like it's one piece.
It is. All right. That's some serious layering of the bubble wrap. I like it. Nice technique.
Hold it up a little higher so people can see it. There we go. Looks like...
Can you see that? Look how long it's been in there.
Looks like one glass.
One glass. Perfect.
Made it in an envelope. So there is proof. Like if you've ever doubted FOMO, there it is.
And it's not even a thick ceramic tiki mug. It's a thin glass with the wide mouth on it.
Yep. FOMO works, people. FOMO works. All right. That was awesome. Now you can drink out of that.
Should I wash it?
Yeah, probably.
The alcohol.
It was in my garage. All right. So our last segment before we get Jeff in here. Our little eBay tips and tricks of the week, things to help you in your online selling career.
You know that moment when you have finished a listing and you hit click. You click that little button that says, boom, it's done. This comes up in front of you. It's right there. Sharing on social media is not any extra work out of your day. It's simply one little click. You come over here to that Pinterest. And the way I have my Pinterest set up is I have one board that is exclusively for my store. And as soon as I list something, the first place it goes is into my store board. Later on in the week, I'll share it to other boards that I have or to other places. And I have we started an area meetup group. And 2 weeks ago, we started our own Pinterest board where everybody contributes. So we have one more place to share our stuff because every time you share, it just keeps churning it up into the gods of the internet, and it gets your information out there. So when people do a Google search or they do an eBay search, your stuff is going to show up in the algorithms and all that, like voodoo magic that happens. So it's literally right at the end of your listing. You can share it to your Facebook page if you have a Facebook page for your business. You can tweet it. I hate Twitter. I do it, but I hate it. And Pinterest. Pinterest is just my favorite because it's my comfort zone. And I know from there I could share it probably 5 more times by the end of the week. It works. I'm telling you, putting your stuff out there, it works. It brings customers, it drives traffic, and it gets more eyes on your merchandise, especially in the business that we're in. We have a lot of one-of-a-kinds and one-offs, and we need to let people know that this thing exists because sometimes they don't know that it exists. And that's all I got.
Awesome. Now here's my little tip, and I'm not going to demonstrate how to do it tonight. We have demonstrated in the past, but just want to show you how it's worked for me. I ride the rail. I'll list all my good CDs on both Amazon and eBay. So what that means is the second it sells one place, I've got to pull it down on the other place. So I use the note section on my eBay to write the word both. Only I see that. And so when I see a sale pop up that says both, I hop over to Amazon and I remove it off of the Amazon, and then vice versa from Amazon to eBay. But as you can see, right in a row last night, all these were listed on both, just waiting for the right customer to see it on the right platform, and then I remove it. So if you don't know how to use the notes, just Google how to add a note to my eBay listing. It's pretty easy, but this is how I use it to be effective.
That's so risky.
It is. I'm ballsy. All right. So not only are we having a show this week for Christmas, we're having a show next week for New Year's. So Thursday, our last guest of the season, of the year, actually, is my good buddy Joel. Now, Joel is a social networking, internet, eBay guru with a software development background and a yearning for entrepreneurship. He has authored or co-authored several books, including Facebook Advertising for Dummies and Starting an Online Business All-in-One for Dummies. But more importantly, he is my comic book geek expert, and I say that lovingly. So we will definitely be talking about how to build a business, and we will nerd out over comic book shit. So,
I can't wait for that one.
I'll show him my calendar of Thor and Loki as pugs. I'm sure he'll thoroughly enjoy that.
It's like all of our worlds.
Yep, they all just slam to each other. So tune in next Thursday, December 27th, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. West Coast, and it'll be 3 days before my birthday, so we'll call that my birthday show too. So how's that?
2 days before mine.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
That's right.
All right, let's get our guest in here as soon as I find there he is. Da, 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 da. And hey everybody, it's Jeff Wolfe. Yay! Cheers, brother. How are you?
Hey, all right.
Hi, Jeff.
What's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
We are good. We are good. So, how is Minnesota? Is it warm? Is it cold? What's happening there right now?
Oh man, we're going through like a high 30s, low 40s stretch here, and the snow that was here is starting to melt, so it's pretty much gone actually. So it's might be a brown Christmas for us. It's kind of strange.
Are you gonna have a brown Christmas too, Angela?
I think we are. We walked out to like 46 degrees this morning. We haven't had much snow, but we've had, when I went out earlier, it was kind of rainy, so it's going to be a slushy, sloppy, but it always rains on my birthday, always. So I can guarantee the 29th, mark your calendar, make your bets. It's gonna rain.
So, hey Jeff, a few people in the chat who must not have been here right at the top of the show are like, no beard? Who's that clean-shaven, short-haired dude?
Yeah.
All right, so Jeff's got a great story because it's a lot of us have been there or trying to get there or want to get there, and that's going from a 9 to 5 or so to speak, a real job, which I'll use air quotes because what we do is a real job, but we work for ourselves. And so Jeff made the transition from working for somebody for working for himself. And I can attest to it too. When you make that leap, it's not always as smooth as you hope it will be. In fact, I don't think it ever is smooth.
Yeah.
I don't know any of us who just did it and went, oh yeah, that was easy. So why don't we back up and let's talk about what were you doing in your adult life for careers and stuff like that, kind of before you discovered eBay. What were you doing?
Well, I've had a number of jobs, and a handful of careers, and I used to be an accountant. I had private security, did some life insurance sales, but most recently I had spent 17 years as a warehouse worker for Target, and kind of fell into a job, was having some fun, and I stayed there. They paid you pretty good, but I was having a lot of injuries over the years. I was going on in short-term disability all the time and trying to recover and recoup and get back to work. But I was selling part-time on eBay as I was working full-time, and I was having part-time years of 28,000, 45,000, 64,000. I'm just doing a part-time. I'm thinking, what? Man, if I just do this another 40 hours a week and get rid of this damn job, I've got to be kicking it, right? I mean, well, it didn't really work out that way.
Well, yeah, it never goes that smooth, but we all have that idea because I had the same idea. And actually, I'll take that back. My wife had that idea because the job I had, I was miserable. And then for those of you who've been following me a long time, you know, I got this crazy infection in my arm where I almost lost my arm, almost lost my life. Took me about a year to work my arm back. And when I did finally quit the job that I was miserable at and started working at eBay at this desk right here, I made just as much that first month sitting here with a bum arm in my underwear that I did at a job that was backbreaking. And I thought, the hell was I doing?
Yeah.
I have these skills to do this online, that it is not hard, physically hard work. And I was busting my ass doing a physical job that ended up getting me an infection, almost cost me my life. I should have been sitting here in my underwear even longer. What the heck?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I tell you, I walked away the summer of 2016. And the first thing I didn't put my plan in the works, of course. It was summer. I took a couple weeks off. I figured I deserved that, you know. It's almost like I retired, right? I got to take a couple weeks. Well, man, that 2 weeks turned into 4 weeks, into 2 months, into 6 months. And the next thing you know, it's almost a year later or more. And I'm still doing part-time. I'm still doing what I did before, just kind of, but now I wasn't doing full-time income. I was like, you know, I was starting to go in the hole, man. You know, it's just, I burned through a pension and started working on my 401k. And it's like, it just didn't click in that, man, I gotta get busy here. And finally it did. It's sometime after, I went to open in 2007, somewhere in there after that, I kind of got things going again. But
so was there a defining moment where you finally went, I gotta wake up. I gotta really put more effort in, or I'm gonna be, you know, selling oranges on the street corner.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was this summer, definitely it was earlier this year when everything slowed down a lot, you know. So I was tapping my savings a little more, and it's like, man, I really, it's done. I'm done. I got to get moving here. So I've been building pretty steadily ever since, like, you know, last 5-6 months, every month has been better than the last month. So I'm getting there, but it's hard, you know, as a one person to do as much listing as you need to catch up as fast as I need to catch up. But I don't know. So, I mean, if I was doing it again, I had to plan, but I didn't approach it right. I mean, you got to approach when you step out a full-time job into this, you got to approach it like a job again. You got to wake up in the morning, you got to punch in, you got to get your shit done. You know, you do a schedule the night before, what you really need to get, you know, priority stuff you got to get done the next day, and go from there. But you don't want to step away like I did before your business is profitable. You got to be showing a profit before you step away from your main income. You know, if that's not happening, forget about it. You know, you got to get your health care together, have a good supply, you know, 6, 8, 10 months of money just for living expenses, because you want to be turning that money back into your business, you know, to buy more inventory. You don't want to be living off of it right away. But I was living off of it. I was not building my business, and you know.
So I mean, that's the two things that really stuck out when I was reading your you know, what the bio sent us is have that 6 months reserve, because you're going to need it. But the big one is healthcare. You got to have insurance. Like, you never know when you're going to slip and fall and hurt yourself, or have a car accident, or fall down, or, you know, something like that. If you don't have health insurance, you're going to just end up bankrupt.
Right. I was kind of fortunate in that part. I was put on my girlfriend put me on her plan as a domestic partner. You know, we're not married or nothing, but I got put on her plan. Cost a little more, but it's not like I didn't have anything. So, but I mean, anybody doing it, you got to make sure you got that covered. You know.
So I didn't know that was a thing, because I've been married so long. So you can be on your girlfriend's boyfriend's plan as a domestic partner.
Yeah, well, at least in Minnesota. I don't know if it's
okay. Yeah, see, I never heard of that, but then again, I've been with my wife since I was 19, really. So, So Angela, when you started selling on eBay, you didn't have the store yet, right?
No, Russ actually was the primary eBay seller, and I came on just, you know, as a helper, and we weren't even living together yet. And but then we've had a couple different businesses, but just kind of like Jeff, it's like we've kind of rolled with the punches. You know, you have a job here and there, and you know, you do whatever you have to do at the time. And now we had the complete fortune of somebody offering us to take over an existing store. So, I know a lot of people were struggling in the summertime through eBay, and the summertime for us is like, it's like Mecca for us. It's, there's the pickings are good and the pickings are cheap, and we're turning big profits in the store. But this time of year, about a month ago, is when all of a sudden everything comes to a screeching stop because everyone's buying Christmas. They're not buying furniture. They might buy a dining room table, but that's all. And so eBay and Etsy and Poshmark, that's going to carry us for the next few months until tax season rolls around and those checks start coming in. Then everyone's going to refurnish their house. So but I totally get where Jeff's coming from.
So her saying all that though, Jeff, that leads to my next question for you. So you sell on eBay. Have you gone into Amazon or Etsy or Posh or Mercari or any of the other websites that a lot of us use?
Yeah, I've been on Amazon since about 2011. Just merchant fulfilled. And a couple years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, I started FBA with just with books to try it out. And I figure with books you can't screw it up too bad, So, so I've been selling books, mainly textbooks in the 2 different textbook seasons, or year round too. But the thing is, every time I concentrate on Amazon, my eBay would fall apart. So I'd leave Amazon for a little bit and go concentrate on eBay for a little bit, and my Amazon would fall apart. And I don't know. I'm 55 years old. I guess I lost my multitasking ability or something. Once you get past this next textbook season in Amazon, I hope to get rid of my books and just concentrate on eBay. Just go tunnel vision for a while and get that back on track.
I gotta tell you, I didn't think I was having a good holiday season because it doesn't seem like any day I've put out like tons of product, but I'm selling a lot of CDs. And then today I noticed, I'm like, oh, I've done like 5,500 in sales this month already, and we're only at the 19th, or 20th. So I'm like, and I've been gone twice this month already. So I was like, all right. So once you get the business rolling and you really work, really hammer home the stuff well, CDs. Even when it doesn't seem like you're doing good, you could be doing good. You look at the numbers. Right. And so I always tell people it can be done. I'm never home and I can do like 5,000 to 6,000 a month. And if I was home concentrating, it would easily be over 10,000 a month in sales.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. So I know Jeff mentioned in his bio that he sells across the different platforms. Do you have a favorite? Is one doing better for you than any of the others?
Oh yeah, well eBay. I do a little Craigslist and Facebook, marketplaces for bigger things that I just want to get rid of. That come across. I'm trying not to come across big things, but sometimes it just falls in your lap and you put it in the garage and it's like shit.
Every time I swear, no more big stuff.
How many in the chat have said those words? No more big stuff. Next thing you know, there's a tiki bar and 3 stools in your garage. All right. Exactly. How many of us have said that?
Yeah.
Does Jeff use social media to promote his stuff?
No, I don't. I am on Facebook. I don't have a Facebook business page. I am not. Angie, you're looking at me kind of funny.
You broke my heart right there. You hurt my heart a little bit.
I understand you're a social media person, but I'm just not.
It's fine. And it depends on I know what your niche is, and that may not be something that really plays well on social media, but it's a way to get your information out there. But it's not everybody's gig, but it just kind of.
I might explore it more someday, but we'll see.
But I've seen some of your numbers. I'm like, hey, if you're doing it without it, I ain't gonna knock that.
Yeah.
So
you got a thing going.
So Angela, reference your niche. What got you started? What were you selling?
Who's that to?
You. What got you started selling online? Because you got something that most of us have never sold before, and you still sell it pretty well.
Yeah. Well, it's diabetic test strips. There's a huge secondary market for that. It's unbelievable because, people that don't have insurance, they got to get, diabetics got to get their strips, and they, you can't pay full retail. It's ridiculous. So I can offer it to those people for half price. It works pretty good. But yeah, I when did I start doing that? About 2011. I bought a program from Jim Cochran, at the time he was doing a proven eBay course. Now he does a proven Amazon course, but he left the eBay behind, I guess. But he taught a couple different things, but one was test strips, and learn all about, how to go collect them and advertise and pick them up in different scripts and all that fun stuff. And it just I got pretty good at it. I was just, some months I was just saving up a little bit. I was trying to have different, just playing around with it, going, what's the biggest day I can get? I save them up a little bit, sell them all in one day, make $3,000, and then I have like a $10,000 a week, or just stuff like that. Is just it was just and this was, I'm still working full time, and so I was averaging at the best year I had, probably over 6,000 a month base. I had a few extra other things I was selling, but I couldn't get to those things. I was so busy with these test strips. I couldn't list like I normally was. So,
holy cow, this is me like picking my chin up off the desk. Holy cow. And no bubble wrap and no chance of those things breaking in the mail, right?
Yeah, I put a little bubble wrap, but yeah, it doesn't, I sell to both diabetics. I also sell to resellers. And I think the resellers either got their own web store or they're selling them on Amazon. And I'm not ungated in the category for Amazon. Otherwise you're making more money at it, but that's fine. I list them. I can list the test strips, and before I even get the next listing done, the first ones have sold. I mean, they sell in seconds. I know the exact, pinpoint price to price them at, and people, they just pop on them real quick, and they got the searches, and
wow,
yeah, it's unbelievable. I go pick them up, come back, you got to peel the labels off, clean it up a little bit, take a picture or two, and make sure the dates are good. Yeah, once they're listed, though, bam, they go. So
since you're selling so much of the same stuff, are you using something like Ink Frog, like Jason does, where you just say, "Hey, boom, I've already got this. Just send it again with a new picture with the date"?
I just go to my completed. I always have completed, and just fill in, change the data if I have to, or pictures, and
that makes sense.
So and that's something. There was someone new in the Thrifting Board today. Now, if you've not joined my group, it's called the Thrifting Board. Come on over to Facebook. It's a free group. We got 55,000 eBay and thrifters who love to help each other. But someone said, I'm new to this. I go into the store and I just don't know what to look at and what to do. And what I always tell people is conquer what you know until you can't find any more of that. So Angela is the queen of fine and cool mid-century modern shit. I'm obviously the king of tiki and CDs. Jeff knows his test strips. So you go and you hit that as hard as you can until you've maximized every CD you can find, then go learn more stuff. But you go to what you know first, because even if you're limited on time, like if I'm going into a thrift store and I only got 20 minutes, I'm going to A, look for tiki mugs in the vase section, and B, hit the CD section, and then I'm out. Now, if I got time to do the whole store, I'll do the whole store. But I'm going to go where I'm the smartest and I can bring the most return the quickest, because that's kind of the key. You got to bring the return. So don't abandon what you know. But once you conquer it, keep on looking at other stuff. Keep on learning everything else. Like I didn't start selling purses. I don't know shit about purses, but I know enough to pick out the good ones to flip for some money. So that's what you got to do. So what brought, let's back up a little bit more, Jeff. What brought you to eBay initially?
Oh, yeah. Well, I discovered eBay in 2005. I knew what eBay was, they've been around for a while, but I'd never been on the site before. And 2005, a couple of tragic things happened in my life with the family and stuff. And first was my ex-wife died in a motorcycle accident. I get this call from my daughter one day, crying and stuff, and said, Dad, you gotta get home. And I couldn't understand what the hell she's talking about. Next thing you know, the cops on the phone. It was like, told me, yeah, my ex-wife died in a motorcycle accident. And I'm like, oh shit, So anyway, that didn't indirectly. I'll tell you a little later how that ties into eBay. But less than a month later, or maybe less than 2 months later, I get a call from a girlfriend from her house. I'd moved into the house that my kids were living in. She was still at the other house a couple towns away, and she says, the house burned down. I'm like, oh, what the hell? I was still, numb and shocked from the first thing. And then now we had the house burned down. We had to deal with the insurance agents. I'm in probate court. I'm an executor of a will, so I'm dealing with all the lawyers and investors or investment companies and conservatorship people, and I don't know, all this junk. It took 2.5 years to go through that damn probate. It was just ridiculous.
Wow.
But so yeah. So anyway, she calls about the house, and like I said, I can try to help you a little bit, but anyway, she needed to get research on prices of replacement prices for a lot of stuff. We had to kind of recreate in our mind. We lost about 80% of our possessions. We had to recreate in our mind what we had, first of all, and then what was the price, prove it to an insurance company what it's worth. And I found eBay. I was like, wow, everything's, a lot of my stuff, I had a lot of collectible stuff and things. And I was like, I'm not going to find them on Amazon or anything or in the stores. They were all on eBay. I was like, I was surprised the hell out of me. I was like, okay, this is cool. And, because, I had, anyway, what I was really concerned about for some reason was my Mad magazine collection. And I still read Mad to this day. But anyway,
heck yeah.
That kind of tells you what I'm all about anyway. So anyway, I got on eBay and I started looking, trying to find these replacements, and they're all there. And it's like, damn, and then I found I could collect the whole collection from 1952 to the present date. And I'm like, because I only had the 60s, 70s, and some 80s. And so I collected all of them, all the Alfred E. Newman, all the different books. And it was like, I went kind of nuts with that. And that's what leads me. That's why I told you about the accident. I'll try to tie it in here if I can. Everybody kind of goes through a grieving process a little differently. There's certain steps in anything that you go through. I never really did that. I was so busy right away with all the courts and stuff and the fire. And then, but later in the year and in the next year, I just found that I just kind of stuffed it away and hopped on eBay and was buying shit. I mean, I spent thousands of dollars buying shit that now I'm trying to get rid of. I got a house full of collectible stuff that, what the hell? I go, what the hell was I thinking? It's cool, but I got to get rid of this stuff now. So that's how I got started in eBay.
They went from buying to selling. So, eBay's been there, I think, for all of us at some point in our life for something uber important, whether it be
absolutely
finding the possessions that you lost, or like, we had one member of the Thrifting Board sell a shirt to a gentleman who buried his wife in it. So, and they're not always all that, deep, but we've all got something out of eBay, not just buying stuff, but also it's our livelihood, it's our business, and it's a great place to make a living. And because of eBay, we're all friends. And I don't mean just the three of us. I mean, the almost 200 watching live.
Yeah.
And so because of eBay, we've all become friends around the world together. And what's nice nowadays is we get to see each other. We get to hang out in person. It just.
I don't want to go to Minnesota though. He's got to come to Ecom next year.
Hey, Minnesota was fun. I love Minnesota. I want to go back. I like Minnesota a lot.
In the summer.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes, summer, yeah.
Not in the winter. All right, let's see your scores and duds of the week here, because you got one amazing score. But
I haven't seen this.
Yeah, we'll start with a little bit lower here. So Crayola, what is this? Is this an advertisement?
Oh, this was back in the 50s, back when they had fountain pens, whatever period that was. This was probably in the 50s. I got a collection of fountain pens. Oh my God. Anyway, but this is a ink blotter that I don't know how they actually use. I think you got to use it. I don't know how the hell you use it, but they're collectible. They got a lot of them have pinup girls on them too, so that's pretty cool. I had a few of those, but these things I was because of FBA in my book sales anyway. I got a bunch of books, and I was going to donate, and I was kind of flipping through them. I found these in the pages of an old book. And I flipped a little more, and I found two more. I actually got three of them. And now this kind of reminds me, I haven't got the other two listed, but I got to get the other two listed. But, it's just like, I was going to just donate those books,
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Just like three $20 bills just laying there waiting for you.
Yeah, it wasn't big money or nothing, but.
This little sad teddy bear.
Now look at I was at a garage sale. I I don't know if it was in the box or next to the box of free stuff down at the end of the driveway. And I looked at it and said, man, that's a damn dog's chew toy or something. I didn't want to pick it up. But then I saw a little straw hanging from, the holes in it. I was like, wait a minute. And I kind of knew something about teddy bears. It was like, if there's stuff with straw, it might be something. You might have something.
Wow.
And so I took it home. It's rough. I said it needs a little TLC, but
I think he's perfect.
Yeah. So.
I love it. Now, I am shocked by this one because
$45.
I cannot sell NASCAR stuff to save my life. You got $75 for a jacket?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's the best offer. I got 50.
Oh, but still, 50 is still good.
I passed up an orange one yesterday.
Yeah.
With all those same patches, I passed it up because I was like, NASCAR.
Yeah.
Trying to photograph orange, that's hard.
It's a tough sell. I had that for 2 years. I bought it for 10 or 15 bucks.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad I didn't buy it. 2 years, like, nah.
Yeah. I'm
going to go find some test strips.
All right, now usually I go to your fourth score, but let's show your duds first, and then we'll end. We'll end our Christmas episode on your last score of the week. So here's your one dud.
Oh my God.
Here on my desk.
It's a reamer, it's a juicer, whatever. You take a half a slice of orange, you make juice. This is actually from a consigner that I was selling for. It's a family member. It's my mother, Jay. I think we talked about this before. But she comes to my house, and we put all this garbage of hers up there. This is in the store for 3 years, for Christ's sakes. I had she wanted $19.99 for it. I'm like, oh my God, mother. So I got it on sale. I dropped it here and there, and then I was like, I was gonna just take it out and give it back to her, and when she was up here next, in a couple of months, but it went and got sold. I'm like, oh, it's 3 years.
3 years to make $6.
I even forgot it was there. It was like, oh my God, I had to go find it. It was like somewhere in my glass cabinet. It was like, this was these guys. I've been buying liquidation pallets, and this ended up one of the pallets a couple years ago. It went through last Christmas, and finally, I had 3 of them. And I thought it'd be cool. I never used it. It's virtual reality, glasses. You put your phone in there or some damn thing. But at the time when I researched it, it looked like it was going to be $25. I'm like, well, it's okay. I was all $6 or $7 into it, but they just weren't selling. I changed the title. I changed, just tweaking this and that. This is the last one finally sold for $12.89. I'm glad I'm done with them. I don't got to look at them.
I think we have a few of those sitting on a shelf in our store.
I don't know if it's maybe the brand or something, but
I think it's the brand.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna show Jeff's last score, but we're gonna end on it. So I wanted to wish everyone a wonderful holiday. Enjoy the time with your family and friends, but be ready. Don't quit selling because people buy a ton right after Christmas. Don't forget, we are gonna have a New Year's Eve / Jason's birthday show next Thursday. So tune in for that. If you've not subscribed down below, subscribe, click the little bell. It'll let you know we're going live. Give us a thumbs up. We got a great live audience tonight. So thank you all for tuning in. And let's end on Jeff's awesome score of the week.
Let's see it.
Since he brought up Mad Magazine. What?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's a little misleading, but I did ask $8.99 for it. I wanted to get $6.50. I got a lot of lowball crazy offers, but that was right away. I mean, by the third day though, I finally got somebody that popped for $700, and I'm like, you know what? I needed $6.50. I'll take the $7.
Jeff, this is crazy. I was a huge Mad Magazine fan back in the 70s and early 80s, and I have searched and searched and searched for that. And we got boxes of the books and the magazines, but I was like, it's small, right? It's like it's TV guide size or smaller.
Well, this is the comic book size. The first 23 issues of comic book size, and then
yeah. And I go through every box just thinking I'm gonna find it, and I've never actually seen an out. Now I know somebody, and we're Facebook friends, so now I know somebody that had one.
Angela, this is gonna kill you. This is my worst condition. I have 3 of these. This is the one in worst condition.
We're not friends. I'm unfriending you right now.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
The rest of 12 hours.
Old Mad Magazine can bring you $700. I call that a Christmas miracle.
Moly.
So Angela, thank you very much for being my co-host tonight. Jeff, thanks for being on. You
Oh.
look so good, sir. All clean shaven,
Yeah.
like a little
Yeah.
baby face.
He's so responsible looking. He's
Yes.
responsible.
Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for, hanging out with
everybody.
us all year. Thank you all for being in the Thrifting Board. Have a wonderful holiday, and we will see you next week. So for that, I will say
Bye.
aloha and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.